In the heart of the lush and vibrant jungle, where the towering emerald trees formed a protective canopy overhead, you would find a cozy treehouse filled with love and adventure. Within the heart of this enchanting treehouse lived a sweet and endearing monkey family. At the center of this loving family was Dada, a big, sweet, and proud daddy monkey known throughout the jungle for his gentle nature and kind heart. His soft brown fur covered his sturdy frame, and he sported a stylish quiff of fur on his head, giving him a distinguished and charming appearance. By his side was his beloved son, Layla, a tiny monkey with a sweet and curious spirit. Layla's big, bright eyes sparkled with wonder, and his cute little tail always seemed to be in joyful motion. His light face beautifully contrasted with his expressive brown eyes, and his fluffy, soft coat made him simply irresistible. Together, Dada and Layla shared a unique bond, one filled with love and a sense of adventure that led them to explore the jungle's wonders and uncover its hidden gems. Today promised to be no different. Layla's family was completed by his Mama, his big sisters, Judy and Habi, his auntie, and his cousin June. And, of course, no family gathering was complete without Abuela and Abuelo. Today was a special day in the jungle because the grand opening of the playground was about to take place. Mr. Flamingo, his wife, and their daughter, Fivjin, were the proud owners of this exciting new addition to the jungle. It was going to be one big party, complete with lively music and fun games. Layla's family, along with all the other animals in the jungle, eagerly gathered at the playground for the grand opening. Layla's friends were there too, and they couldn't wait to explore all the playground had to offer. As Layla and his family arrived, Mr. Flamingo and his family took center stage to officially open the playground. With a colorful ribbon-cutting ceremony, they declared the playground open for all the jungle's residents to enjoy. Layla couldn't contain his excitement. He looked at his family and said, "Let's start with the swings, everyone." With that, they all headed to the swings, sharing laughter and fun together. Dr. Rhino, a wise and friendly figure in the jungle, was there too, pushing his grandson on the swing. Dentist Crocodile, known for his impeccable dental hygiene, brought his children along to enjoy the festivities. The playground was bustling with activity, and Layla couldn't help but notice the many animals he hadn't met yet. He knew that today was the perfect opportunity to make new friends. As the day went on, Layla and his family explored every nook and cranny of the playground, making new friends at every turn. They swung, climbed, slid, and splashed, all while building connections with the wonderful animals of the jungle. One sunny morning, Layla's eyes twinkled with excitement as he ran to his daddy, who was enjoying a delicious banana on their treehouse porch. "Dada," Layla exclaimed, "can I invite my friend, Jaguar Jackie, to come and play in our treehouse today?" Dada smiled at Layla's enthusiasm. "Of course, Layla. It sounds like a wonderful idea. Why don't you go and find Jackie and invite him over? We can all have a fun day together." Layla didn't need any more encouragement. He darted off, his tiny legs carrying him swiftly through the trees. Soon, he reached a clearing where he found his friend, Jaguar Jackie, a young and playful jaguar with beautiful spotted fur. "Jackie, Jackie!" Layla called out, waving his arms excitedly. Jackie turned around, his tail swishing with curiosity. "Layla, what brings you here today?" Layla beamed. "I want to invite you to play in my treehouse with me and my daddy. It's going to be so much fun." Jackie's eyes lit up with excitement. "A treehouse? That sounds amazing, Layla. Let's go!" Hand in paw, Layla and Jackie made their way back to the cozy treehouse. When they arrived, welcomed Jackie with a warm smile and a hearty handshake of friendship. "Welcome, Jackie. We're delighted to have you here in our jungle home." Layla's eyes sparkled as he showed Jackie around the treehouse. Together, they decided to build a special hut in one corner of the treehouse. They gathered sheets, blankets, and pillows, piling them up to create the coziest hut imaginable. As they worked together, their laughter echoed through the treetops. Dada watched with pride as Layla and Jackie's friendship grew stronger with each playful moment. Once the hut was complete, Dada brought out a flashlight and a soft pillow. "Now, who's up for a little adventure?" he asked with a twinkle in his eye. Layla and Jackie's eyes widened with anticipation. "Adventure?" "Yes, please." Dada handed them the flashlight and explained, "You see, every treehouse has a secret passage. With this flashlight, you can explore and find hidden treasures. But be careful, and remember, adventure is about having fun and using your imagination." Layla and Jackie eagerly took the flashlight and embarked on their treehouse adventure. They crawled into their hut, their eyes shining with excitement as they illuminated the hidden corners and imagined themselves on grand journeys. Dada watched as their laughter and imagination filled the treehouse with joy. He knew that moments like these were precious and would be cherished forever. As the day turned into evening and the jungle came alive with the sounds of nighttime creatures, Dade brought out a soft pillow and laid it in the hut. "Now, who's ready for a cozy nap inside the hut?" Layla and Jackie, tired from their day of adventure and play, eagerly climbed into the hut. Dada tucked them in with a gentle smile and kissed their foreheads. "Sweet dreams, my little adventurers," Dada whispered. "Remember, even in your dreams, you can go on the most magical journeys." Layla and Jackie's eyelids grew heavy as they snuggled together in their cozy hut. The jungle's night sounds provided a soothing lullaby as they drifted off to sleep, their dreams filled with treehouse adventures and the warmth of friendship. Going for a swim. The sun was high in the sky, casting a warm glow over the jungle. Layla and his cousin, June, were eager for an adventure, and their destination today was the river. They couldn't wait to splash and play in the cool, refreshing water. Layla and June excitedly made their way to the river, their laughter filling the air. But as they arrived at the familiar spot, they were met with a surprising sight. The river's flow had been blocked by a dam, and the water was no longer flowing. Layla frowned, his curiosity piqued. "Look, June! Something has blocked the river. We can't swim here today." June's eyes widened with wonder. "I wonder who built that dam." Just then, they saw a playful beaver nearby, splashing in the water and chirping happily. It was clear that the beaver was the one responsible for the dam. Dada, who had been keeping a close eye on Layla and June from a nearby tree, swung down to join them. He had a warm smile on his face as he saw the beaver's handiwork. "Hello there," Dada greeted the beaver. "It looks like you've been quite busy building this dam." The beaver nodded with pride. "Yes, I wanted to create a safe and calm swimming area for all the jungle creatures. It's been a lot of work, but it's worth it." Layla and June admired the beaver's determination and creativity. "It's an amazing dam," Layla said. "But we were hoping to swim today. Is there any way we can swim on the other side?" The beaver considered their request and then nodded. "Of course! I can show you a path to the other side of the dam where the water is still flowing. Follow me." With the beaver as their guide, Dada, Layla, and June made their way around the dam to the other side. There, they found a beautiful stretch of river where the water flowed freely, and they could swim to their heart's content. Layla and June couldn't have been happier. They splashed, played, and laughed in the cool water, their joy echoing through the jungle. Dada watched over them, his heart filled with love and pride for his adventurous little monkey. He knew that every day in the jungle was an opportunity for new discoveries and unforgettable moments. As the sun began to set, casting a warm, golden glow over the jungle. Dada, Layla, June, and the beaver shared stories and laughter by the riverbank. It was a day of togetherness, teamwork, and the joy of exploring their jungle home. And so, Dada and his sweet little monkey, Layla, along with their cousin June and their new beaver friend, learned the value of cooperation and the beauty of sharing the wonders of nature. Bedtime for Layla. After a delicious dinner, Layla still had some time to play with Dada before bedtime. It was beginning to transform as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm, golden glow over their treehouse. As the evening settled in, Dada gently reminded Layla that it was time to start getting ready for bed. They both knew that their nighttime routine was not just about getting ready for sleep, it was a cherished bonding time filled with love and laughter. Hand in hand, they climbed the stairs to the cozy bathroom. Dada filled the bathtub with warm water, and Layla's eyes lit up with excitement as he saw the bubbles forming on the water's surface. The prospect of a bath was always a thrilling part of the evening routine. But before Layla could splash and play in the bubbly water, there was a brief stop they had to make. Dada patiently waited as Layla used the toilet, providing gentle encouragement and support as needed. Layla flushed the toilet, feeling a sense of accomplishment, and then they both washed their hands thoroughly. Dada was an expert at making hand-washing fun. He helped Layla reach the sink and used just the right amount of soap to create lots of foamy bubbles. Together, they sang a cheerful little song as they scrubbed their hands, making sure they were clean and fresh before bedtime. With clean hands and a sense of accomplishment, Layla was now ready for his favorite part of the evening, bath time. With a splash and a giggle, he stepped into the inviting bath, surrounded by the frothy bubbles. Dada handed him his beloved bath toys, and Layla's imagination ran wild as he played in the sea of bubbles. As bath time came to an end, it was time to get out of the tub. Dada wrapped Layla in a large, soft towel, giving him a cozy hug and sharing playful giggles. The warm towel enveloped him like a gentle hug from a friend, making Layla feel safe and loved. Next on their bedtime journey was toothbrush time. Dada showed Layla how to wet the toothbrush under the tap and then squeeze just the right amount of toothpaste onto it. Layla watched with fascination as his dad demonstrated the proper brushing technique, ensuring that every tooth was thoroughly cleaned. Layla carefully mimicked Dada's guidance, brushing his own teeth with enthusiasm and determination. They made sure to reach every tooth before rinsing, taking a sip of water to rinse away any remaining toothpaste. Layla's toothbrushing skills improved with each passing day, and he felt proud of his growing independence. With teeth brushed and feeling fresh, it was time for Layla to settle into his cozy bed. Dada sat beside him, and they talked about the day. Layla excitedly shared the adventures and discoveries he had made in the jungle, from meeting new animal friends to exploring hidden trails. Dada listened with a smile, cherishing these moments when they could reflect on the day's adventures together. He marveled at Layla's growing curiosity and the boundless joy he brought to their jungle home. Once they had talked about the day, Dada reached for the big book full of stories. Layla's eyes sparkled with anticipation as he snuggled beneath his soft blankets. Dada began to read a new and exciting story, his soothing voice carrying Layla away into a world of imagination and wonder. As Dada spun tales of far-off lands, brave heroes, and magical creatures, Layla's eyelids grew heavy. The stories wove dreams into his mind, and he felt a sense of comfort and security under the gentle glow of their reading lamp. After the story had come to an end, Dada leaned down to give Layla a goodnight kiss. Layla felt the warmth of his dad's love and knew he was cherished beyond measure. Before Layla could fully drift off to sleep, Mama came into the room to give him a goodnight kiss and say those 3 magic words, "I love you, my little adventurer." With another kiss and a loving smile, she turned on some sweet, soothing music, filling the room with melodies that were as warm and comforting as a jungle breeze. To the tune of the music, Mama sings her own made-up lullaby for Layla. Layla closed his eyes, feeling a sense of serenity wash over him. With the love of his family surrounding him, he embarked on a journey into dreamland. Under a sky filled with twinkling stars, he slept soundly, knowing that each night brought new dreams and the promise of another wonderful day ahead. Layla can hardly wait. A friend of his big sister Jut, Fivjan the flamingo, is coming to visit. Baking cookies. The three of them had a special plan for the day. They were going to bake delicious cookies together in the cozy jungle kitchen. Before they began, they knew it was essential to start with clean hands. So, Layla, Jut, and Fivjan gathered around the sink and washed their hands thoroughly, making sure they were ready for the delightful baking adventure. With their hands clean and spirits high, they set to work. Jut took charge and gathered all the necessary ingredients: flour, cornstarch, sugar, eggs, salt, butter, and vanilla. Fivjan joined in and helped Layla measure the ingredients. Layla felt so proud to be a part of the baking team. Jut placed the kitchen scale on the countertop, and Layla eagerly grabbed the bag of flour. Spoon by spoon, he carefully added flour to the scale, stopping when it reached 240. Jut, with a reassuring smile, confirmed, "Yes, Layla, that's the perfect amount." Next, they moved on to the sugar. Fivjan, Jut, and Layla worked together, making sure every ingredient was precisely measured. As they continued, Dada appeared around the corner and inquired if the cookies were ready. Fivjan giggled and replied, "Not yet. We're still in the mixing and kneading stage." Once all the ingredients were weighed, they combined them and began to knead the dough with their hands. Layla loved the feeling of the dough squishing between his fingers as they worked it into a smooth, cohesive ball. Jut was organized, and she knew that the dough needed some time to rest in the refrigerator. While the dough chilled, she took care of tidying up and washing the mixing bowls. After the dough had rested for half an hour, it was time for the fun part: rolling it out and cutting out the cookies. Fivjan had brought a flamingo-shaped cookie cutter, while Jut had her favorite, a unicorn. Layla couldn't decide which one to use because he liked so many shapes. In the end, he chose a heart-shaped cutter for Mama and Dada and a star because he thought the stars at night were incredibly beautiful. Layla rolled the dough out carefully, making sure it was the right thickness. Then, he used the cookie cutters to cut out the cookies and place them neatly on the baking paper. With the cookies ready to bake, Jut turned on the oven and set the temperature. She instructed Layla to set the kitchen timer, and he eagerly did so, choosing the number 12. As the cookies baked, the kitchen filled with the delightful aroma of freshly baked treats. Layla could hardly contain his excitement. He sat patiently on his chair, waiting for the timer to go off. The sweet scent of cookies wafted through the air, making him even more eager for the cookies to be ready. Finally, the timer sounded, and Layla exclaimed, "The cookies are ready." Jut, wearing oven mitts, carefully opened the oven door, and a cloud of warm, sweet-smelling air rushed out. The cookies had turned a beautiful golden brown. Now, all that remained was for the cookies to cool before they could begin decorating them. Layla's heart was filled with joy as he looked forward to adding the finishing touches to their creations. With the freshly baked cookies cooling on the kitchen counter, it was time for the final, and most fun, step: decorating. Jut and Fivjan had prepared a rainbow of icing colors and fondant for this special moment. Layla watched in awe as Jut and Fivjan filled the piping bags with vibrant icing. They carefully explained how to create beautiful designs on the cookies. Layla, being the little adventurer he was, eagerly picked up a piping bag, ready to give it his best try. It wasn't easy, but with patience and practice, Layla started creating colorful patterns on his cookies. He was so absorbed in his decorating that at times, he couldn't resist licking a bit of icing from his fingers. It was too tempting to resist. As the trio continued to work, laughter filled the kitchen. Layla felt incredibly proud of his cookie creations, each one a little piece of art made with love. When they were finished, Layla couldn't wait to share his beautifully decorated cookies with Mama and Dada. He carefully presented them with his colorful creations, his eyes shining with excitement. Mama and Dada looked at the cookies, and their hearts filled with warmth. They could see the love and effort that had gone into making these special treats. With smiles on their faces, they praised Layla for his fantastic decorating skills and thanked him for the thoughtful gesture. Layla beamed with happiness, knowing that his cookies had brought joy and sweetness to his family. And as he drifted off to sleep that night, he felt grateful for the wonderful adventures life in the jungle brought his way. Visiting the Palenque. The jungle welcomed them with its symphony of bird songs and the rustling of leaves. Towering mountains, deep gorges, and cascading waterfalls surrounded them, painting a mesmerizing picture of Chiapas' natural beauty. Layla couldn't help but feel a deep sense of awe and wonder as he gazed upon the breathtaking landscape. Their adventure led them to the entrance of the ancient Mayan city of Palenque, where stone steps led the way to a world frozen in time. The temple spires rose like sentinels, their majestic presence telling stories of an era long past. But what truly captured their attention were the toucans that fluttered about, their colorful plumage a vibrant contrast against the ancient stone. In the midst of their exploration, they encountered a captivating and knowledgeable guide, Swainson's toucan. This toucan was no ordinary bird, it was the appointed guide at the temple, a creature of both knowledge and beauty. With its large, striking beak, the toucan immediately caught Layla's attention. Its beak was a sight to behold, with the top and front adorned in a brilliant shade of yellow, radiating like a burst of sunshine against the lush green backdrop of the jungle. The vibrant yellow extended down to its chest, neck, chin, and cheeks, creating a striking contrast to the emerald tapestry of the surrounding foliage. But what truly captivated Layla was the toucan's eye-catching eye ring. It was a shade of green that seemed almost fluorescent, an iridescent halo that framed its eyes like a piece of fine jewelry. It seemed to be the appointed guide of the temple, a creature that embodied both knowledge and beauty. With a friendly chirp, the toucan beckoned them to follow, and they embarked on a journey through time. The toucan shared tales of the Mayan civilization, its rituals, and the inscriptions that adorned the temple walls. Layla listened with wide-eyed wonder, absorbing the history and culture of this mystical place. He knew that this adventure was a precious gift, an opportunity to learn and grow alongside his loving daddy. After their enlightening visit to the temple, Layla and Dada decided to seek refreshment in the arms of nature herself. A short walk through the jungle led them to the mesmerizing Agua Azul waterfalls. The crystal-clear blue waters cascaded over terraced limestone steps, inviting them to take a dip. With laughter and joy, they waded into the cool pool at the base of the waterfall. The waters washed away the heat of the day, and they marveled at the natural beauty that surrounded them. Layla felt a profound connection to the jungle, the temple, and the waterfall, as if they were all part of a grand tapestry of life and history. As the day turned into evening, and the jungle was bathed in the warm hues of sunset, Dada and Layla knew that their adventure had not only been about discovering history and nature but also about the special bond they shared. With the sounds of the jungle echoing in the background, they made their way back home, their spirits forever entwined with the mysteries and beauty of Palenque and Chiapas. As they settled into their cozy tree house under a starry night sky, Layla and Dada knew that each day held the promise of new adventures and discoveries. And so, under the watchful gaze of the jungle's twinkling stars, Layla drifted into a peaceful slumber, his dreams filled with the wonders of Palenque and the loving presence of his dear Dada. For in the heart of the lush and vibrant Chiapas jungle, every day was an adventure, and every night was a dream waiting to unfold. One sunny morning, As the jungle awoke to the chorus of birdsong and the gentle rustling of leaves, Layla's mammy, Mama Monkey, approached Dada with a warm smile. She held Layla's hand, and the little monkey looked up with wide-eyed excitement. Dada, Mama Monkey said, it's time for Layla's checkup with the doctor. He's growing so fast, and it's important to make sure he's healthy and strong. Dada nodded with a loving smile. Of course, Mama. Layla, are you ready to visit the doctor today? Layla's eyes shone with curiosity and a touch of nervousness. Yes, Dada. I want to see the doctor and make sure I'm growing properly. Together, they set off on their journey to visit Dr. Rhino, the wise and gentle rhinoceros who took care of the animals in the jungle. Along the way, the family encountered the jungle's wonders, colorful butterflies flitting by, playful monkeys swinging from vines, and the soothing sounds of a bubbling jungle stream. When they arrived at Dr. Rhino's clinic, Layla looked around in amazement. The clinic was nestled beneath a large, ancient tree, and it was filled with all sorts of interesting instruments and tools. The walls were adorned with colorful drawings of jungle animals, and a friendly parrot greeted them with a cheerful squawk. Dr. Rhino, a wise and caring healer, emerged from behind a curtain. His horn glinted in the soft light as he smiled warmly at the family. Welcome, Dada, Mama Monkey, and young Layla, he said. It's time for Layla's checkup. Let's see how much you've grown and what amazing things you can already do. Layla climbed onto the examination table, his eyes filled with a mix of curiosity and a touch of nervousness. Dr. Rhino began by measuring his height and weight, all the while explaining the importance of growing strong and healthy. Layla, Dr. Rhino said with a twinkle in his eye, can you stand on one leg for me? Layla nodded and lifted one tiny leg, wobbling a bit but managing to balance for a few seconds. I did it, he exclaimed with pride. Dr. Rhino clapped his hooves together. Excellent, Layla. Now, let's see how high you can jump. Layla jumped as high as his little legs could carry him, and Dr. Rhino marked down the measurement with a smile. Well done, young monkey. You're growing wonderfully. Next, Dr. Rhino placed a set of colorful building blocks in front of Layla. Can you build a tower with these, Layla? Layla's eyes lit up with excitement, and he eagerly began stacking the blocks, carefully creating a tower that reached higher and higher. Look, Dada, he exclaimed when he had finished. Dada and Mama Monkey clapped and cheered for Layla's accomplishment. You're doing amazing, Layla, Mama Monkey said with pride. Dr. Rhino then handed Layla a pair of funny, oversized glasses. Now, Layla, can you put these on and tell me what you see? Layla giggled as he put on the glasses, which made everything appear comically distorted. Everything looks so funny, Dr. Rhino. Dr. Rhino chuckled along with Layla, enjoying the young monkey's infectious laughter. Those glasses are just for fun, Layla. You're doing great. Finally, it was time for Layla's injection to keep him from getting sick. Layla looked a bit apprehensive as Dr. Rhino prepared the shot. It might hurt a little, Layla, Dr. Rhino said gently, but it's to keep you strong and healthy. Layla bravely held out his arm, and Dr. Rhino administered the injection with care. Layla winced, but he was quick to recover, especially when he saw the comforting smile on his daddy's face. Dada wrapped his loving arms around Layla. You were so brave, Layla, he said, giving his little monkey a big, reassuring hug. Layla's nervousness melted away as he basked in the warmth of his family's love. Dr. Rhino praised Layla's courage and gave him a colorful sticker as a reward. As they left the clinic, when Layla, Mama, and Dada returned home from their visit to Dr. Rhino, Mama lovingly inquired if Layla's arm still hurt from the injection. She placed a tender kiss on his forehead and handed him a delicious banana as a treat. Layla's smile radiated with gratitude as he accepted the sweet fruit. As Layla savored his banana, his thoughts danced with the joy of the yesterday's adventure. He and Jackie decided to build a cozy hut, using colorful blankets and pillows. Jackie joined him in this exciting endeavor, and together they transformed a corner of the room into their own magical fortress. He jumps up and checks if the hut is still there. Dada hasn't cleaned it up yet, so Layla spent the rest of the delightful afternoon in the cozy hut he had built. Inside their secret hideaway, the world outside seemed to fade away as they entered their magical realm of make-believe. In the jungle lived a young monkey named Layla and his wise and caring father, Dada. Together, they embarked on countless adventures, exploring the wonders of their jungle home. One warm evening, as the setting sun cast a golden hue over the trees, Layla and Dada decided to take a leisurely walk through the jungle. The air was thick with the scent of blossoms, and the trees whispered secrets to anyone who cared to listen. But nature had a surprise in store for them. The once clear sky began to fill with dark and heavy clouds, and raindrops started to fall, slowly at first, and then with more determination. Layla looked up with wide eyes, his furry coat soon dampened by the gentle rain. He loved the rain, it was like a refreshing shower from the heavens. However, their leisurely walk took a surprising turn when a distant rumble echoed through the jungle, followed by a loud crack of thunder. Layla's joy quickly turned into apprehension. Thunder, he thought, was a bit too loud and scary for his liking. Dada, always attentive to his little one, noticed Layla's unease. He scanned the surroundings and spotted a welcoming cave nestled among the trees. "Layla," he said with a reassuring smile, "how about we take shelter in that cave until the rain and thunder pass? You don't have to be afraid." Layla eagerly nodded, and together they hurried to the comforting refuge of the cave. As they settled in, Dada wrapped his protective arm around Layla. "You see, my dear," he began, "thunder is just the sound of clouds colliding with each other high up in the sky. It might seem scary, but it's just a part of nature's way of cleansing and refreshing the world." Layla listened to his father's soothing explanation, feeling safe and loved in his arms. Just then, they noticed a timid little red panda huddled in a corner of the cave. It appeared equally wary of the thunder as Layla. Dada, ever the friendly soul, extended a warm greeting to the little red panda. "Hello there," he said with a gentle smile. "It's okay, we're here to keep you company. Thunder might sound loud, but we'll stay safe together in this cozy cave." The little red panda, whose name was Rusty, nodded in gratitude. Rusty had soft, reddish-brown fur and bright, curious eyes. With Dada's encouragement, Rusty began to share stories about the life of a red panda in the jungle. "I usually stay high in the treetops during the day," Rusty explained, "where I can enjoy the sweet leaves and fruits that make up my diet. At night, I come down to explore and find a cozy spot to rest. Rain like this can be a bit unsettling for me, too, but caves like this one provide shelter and safety." Dada and Layla listened intently to Rusty's tales of the jungle, learning about the unique life of a red panda and their living conditions. As the rain continued to fall outside, the three newfound friends shared stories, laughter, and the warmth of companionship. In that cave, surrounded by the gentle pattering of raindrops and the occasional rumble of thunder, Layla discovered that even in the midst of a storm, there could be moments of comfort and friendship. With hearts full of gratitude and a newfound bond, Layla, Dada, and Rusty welcomed the night, listening to the soothing rhythm of the rain until they eventually drifted off to sleep, wrapped in the comforting embrace of the cave and each other. As they walked through the jungle on their way to the playground, they came across a sad little snow fox. The stray snow fox. In the heart of the jungle lived a playful little monkey named Layla. Layla was overjoyed because today he was going to the playground with his big sister Habi. They had made plans to meet all their friends there for a day full of laughter and games. As they trudged through the lush green jungle, their little feet crunching over leaves and twigs, something unexpected happened. There, they saw a white fluffy ball of soft fur. They encountered a bewildered snow fox. She was not like the other jungle animals, and she looked lost and lonely. Habi approached the confused snow fox with a friendly smile. "Hello there," she greeted kindly. "I'm Habi, and this is my little brother Layla. We haven't seen you here before. Did you get lost? What happened, and what's your name?" The snow fox looked at Habi with a mixture of relief and gratitude. "Thank you, Habi," she said in a soft voice. "I'm Snowy, and I got lost when I got lost during a snowstorm. I probably walked the wrong way. I don't know this jungle, and I don't know how to get home." Habi nodded understandingly and placed a reassuring hand on Snowy's fur. "Don't worry, Snowy. We'll help you get back home." Habi, Layla's caring big sister, decided to stay with the fox and offer her comfort and companionship while Layla went in search of Daddy, their wise father. Snowy smiled, already feeling much better with the kind help of Habi and her little brother. Together they waited patiently for Layla's return. Layla knew Daddy would have a solution to this situation. With a heart racing with concern and anticipation, he swung quickly from branch to branch until he found Daddy at the treehouse. "Daddy, Daddy," cried Layla breathlessly. "You'll never believe what we found in the jungle. It's a lost snow fox named Snowy, and she doesn't know where to go." Dad, always calm and thoughtful, smiled warmly at Layla. "Don't worry, my little one," he said. "We'll make sure Snowy finds her way home. But first we'll take her to the Great Wise Owl." Together, Layla and Papa hurried back to Habi and Snowy. Daddy knelt down and spoke softly to Snowy. "Snowy, we are here to help you. We're taking you to the Great Wise Owl. He can fly high and far, and he knows the way to your home." Snowy looked at them with her bright, curious eyes, and a glimmer of hope filled her heart. Full of confidence in her new friends, she nodded and they set off for the home of the Great Wise Owl. Through the dense jungle they traveled, the canopy above them providing shade and comfort. As they approached the tree of the Great Wise Owl, anticipation grew. The Great Wise Owl welcomed them with a knowing look and listened to their story. Snowy told him where she came from and Papa explained their plan to help her find her way home. The Great Wise Owl said he will help Snowy. With a powerful leap, the Great Wise Owl flew into the air, carrying Snowy on his back. As they disappeared on the horizon, they left a sense of hope and unity with Layla, Habi, and Dada. And so, under the emerald canopy of the jungle, they had come together to help a lost friend. Layla, Habi, and Dada knew that even in the midst of unexpected adventures, they could rely on each other and on the wisdom of their jungle friends. Princess Salad. In a cozy treehouse on the edge of a beautiful jungle, little Layla was excitedly getting ready for a special visit. Today was the day he would visit his loving grandparents, Abuelo and Abuela. They had a magical garden full of fruits and vegetables and Layla couldn't wait to explore it. When Layla arrived at his grandparents' house, he was greeted with warm hugs and smiles. With her kind eyes and gentle voice, took his little hand and led him into the garden. "Layla," she said, "come, let's explore the wonders of our garden together." They walked through the garden and Grandma began to explain the fascinating world of fruits and vegetables. "You see, Layla," she said, "some things grow high on trees, like apples. Others, like raspberries, grow on bushes. And look at those strawberries, we grow them in containers so sneaky slugs can't snack on them. Layla's eyes sparkled with curiosity as he learned about the different plants and how they produce delicious treats. Together they picked sweet, juicy strawberries and thick raspberries for dessert. But the adventure didn't end there. Layla and Grandma bent down and harvested beets and potatoes from the ground. Layla's little hands eagerly joined in the picking and harvesting, making him feel like a big helper. Their hands were completely covered in soil, but he didn't mind. They put everything in a big basket: apples, potatoes, and beets. Grandpa, who is always very kind, had gathered eggs from their chickens. They needed those today too. With their fresh loot, they gathered in the kitchen. Together they washed everything neatly so that their meal would be clean and tasty. It was now time for Dad to tackle the stove, and Layla was eager to help. They cooked the potatoes, beets, and eggs, and Layla helped by carefully cutting the apples and pickles into small, fine pieces. As all the ingredients came together, a blob of creamy mayonnaise was added. It was magical how the mixture turned into a delectable pink princess salad. Dessert was equally enchanting, with raspberry ice cream and fresh strawberries crowned with a cloud of whipped cream. Pink perfection, just the way Layla liked it. Habi and Jet had set a large table in the garden, shaded by tall trees. The family gathered, ready to enjoy the feast they had lovingly prepared. Mama poured refreshing fruit water from a large pitcher into everyone's glass with a loving smile. As the family gathered around the beautifully set table in the garden, a special surprise awaited them. Uncle Nyanko, the graceful Black Panther, had taken a seat at the piano. His smooth fur glistened as he gracefully played the piano, filling the air with melodious tunes. The family enjoyed the delicious meal under the warm sun, serenaded by Uncle Nyanko's piano melodies. The moments of togetherness and joy were cherished, and they knew this was a day filled with love, music, laughter, and beautiful memories that would last a lifetime. Playing soccer. In the heart of a vibrant jungle, little Layla, Jet, and their loving Dada decided to take a leisurely walk through the lush green forest. The jungle was alive with the chirping of birds, the rustling of leaves, and the whispers of the wild. As they ventured deeper into the jungle, a sudden burst of movement caught their eyes. Out of nowhere, a speedy cheetah zoomed past them, chasing a ball that rolled ahead with every swift step. Layla and Jet watched in awe as the cheetah dashed by. Just as it seemed like the cheetah might collide with Jet, he skillfully maneuvered around her, all while keeping the ball in motion. With a graceful stop, the cheetah halted and turned around. "Oh, sorry about that," he panted, his tail wagging. "I was just practicing my soccer skills for a game with my friends. We're about to play down the path. Would you like to come and watch?" Layla, his eyes filled with curiosity, looked at Dada and Jet, wondering if they'd be interested in watching the game. Jet thought it sounded like a great idea, so they decided to follow the cheetah to the open court. As they reached the clearing, they found a group of 5 boys, all excited and ready to play soccer. The cheetah smiled at Layla and said, "Hey there, little man. Would you like to join us? We could use an extra player." Dada kindly offered to play with the boys, while Layla and Jet settled in to watch. The boys started running back and forth on the field, their laughter echoing through the jungle. The ball danced between their skilled feet, and they showcased their incredible teamwork. Layla was captivated by the game and couldn't help but feel excited. After a while, Dada approached Layla and asked if he wanted to give it a try. Layla's eyes sparkled with anticipation, and he nodded eagerly. The older boys welcomed Layla and patiently showed him the basics of soccer. They taught him how to kick the ball with all his might, aiming for the goal. At the far end of the field stood a crocodile, guarding the goal with a watchful eye. Layla took a deep breath, his small foot met the ball, and he gave it a mighty kick. The ball soared through the air, aimed directly at the goal. Crocodile stretched out his massive jaw and attempted to catch the ball but missed it by a whisker. Almost, he chuckled, as the ball sailed past him into the goal. Layla had scored a goal. Dada couldn't have been prouder of his little one. He lifted Layla onto his strong shoulders, and they paraded around the field. The other boys cheered and clapped, finding the sight of the two of them heartwarming. As the game continued, Layla had a big smile on his face, filled with joy and pride. The other boys couldn't help but be impressed by his enthusiasm and sportsmanship. When the match concluded, they all gathered around Layla and cheered for him. "Well done, Layla," they exclaimed. "You're a fantastic soccer player. Will you come and play with us again next time?" Layla beamed with delight and nodded eagerly. He had not only made new friends but had also found a passion for soccer. It was a day filled with adventure, camaraderie, and the excitement of learning something new, and Layla couldn't wait for the next game with his new friends. Color searching. On a sunny day in the heart of the vibrant jungle, little Layla and his friends decided to go on a colorful adventure. The jungle was an abundance of green, but today they wanted to discover more about colors. Layla gathered his friends, including Jackie Jaguar, the lion twins Nalu and Luna, and the shy tiger, along with Habi, Jet, and Daddy. Together they formed a lively group, ready for an exciting game of color search. The rules of the game were simple. Each player had to find something in the jungle that matched a certain color. Taking turns, they called out the color and everyone had to hurry to find an object or creature with that color. Layla, with his boundless curiosity, was the first to start. "Let's look for something blue," he exclaimed with a twinkle in his eyes. His friends scattered in all directions, exploring the lively jungle. Before long, Dad spotted a brilliant blue butterfly fluttering by. The other friends discovered an azure flower and a crystal-clear stream glistening in the sunlight. Then it was Habi's turn. She challenged her friends to find something yellow. The jungle again revealed its wonders, a cluster of golden bananas hanging from a tree, a bright and sunny snake basking in the warmth, and even a patch of golden sunlight shining in through the canopy. It was Jackie Jaguar's turn and asked everyone to find something green, which of course was the easiest task in the lush jungle. They found fresh green leaves, emerald frogs hopping around, and the swaying branches high above. It seemed like the whole jungle was full of shades of green. Nalu and Luna, the lion twins, chose red and purple for their turn. The group discovered vibrant red flowers and a beautiful purple orchid, each displaying their chosen colors in all their glory. Even the shy tiger, with her gentle demeanor, joined in the fun. She called out the color orange and they found a bunch of juicy, ripe oranges hanging from a tree. The game continued and each friend chose a new color. They called out colors like pink and brown and found the jungle a treasure trove full of color and life. As the day turned into a brilliant sunset, they all gathered in the clearing surrounded by the colors of the jungle. They shared stories of their finds, laughed and marveled at the variety of colors they had discovered. The jungle, always full of surprises, had given them a brilliant lesson about the world of colors. Little Layla and his friends, including Jackie Jaguar, the lion twins Nalu and Luna, and the shy tiger, returned home with their hearts full of vivid memories of their colorful adventure. And from that day on, they looked at the jungle with fresh eyes and appreciated the beauty of every color in every leaf, creature, and sunbeam that painted. A letter from Snowy. One quiet morning, Dada and Layla were sitting on their favorite spot in the jungle. They were perched on their big rock, enjoying the warmth of the sun as they overlooked the babbling river. They had just savored a delicious breakfast of oatmeal porridge with fresh raspberries. Layla wiggled back and forth excitedly. Dada, this really is a perfect place, isn't it? Here we can overlook the whole jungle. Dada smiled and enjoyed his son's beaming eyes. Indeed, Layla, this is a special place. We have shared so many beautiful moments here. As they relished the beautiful view, they saw something special in the distance. A large white snowy owl flew in their direction with powerful wing beats. The snowy owl was clutching an envelope in its talons. Layla excitedly pointed at the snowy owl. Look, Dada, what is that beautiful big bird? Dada responded, that's a snowy owl, Layla, and it seems to have a letter. The snowy owl inquired if they were Dada and Layla. Dada nodded. The snowy owl landed on the rock and presented the letter to Dada. Dada extended his hand to gently accept the letter from the snowy owl. Then the snowy owl took flight once more. Dada opened the letter and began to read. As he read, a smile appeared on his face. It's from Snowy, Layla. She sent a letter to thank us for our help, and she invites us to come visit her sometime in her snowy home far away. Layla was excited and eager to read the letter. What does it say, Dada? Are we going to visit Snowy? Dada handed the letter to Layla. Although Layla couldn't read yet, it also included a picture of Snowy standing in front of her snowy house. After Dada and Layla read Snowy's letter, Layla was so excited that he could hardly wait to share the news with the rest of their family. Together, they ran back to their cozy tree house, where Mom, Habi, and Jut were busy with their daily chores. With beaming smiles and bright eyes, Papa and Layla passed Snowy's letter to their family. Mama set aside the wildflowers she was collecting for a moment and gently took the letter in her hands. She read Snowy's sweet words and looked at Dada and Layla happily. Habi and Jut shuffled closer, filled with curiosity. What does it say, Mama? Asked Habi. Mama smiled fondly and shared the exciting news. Snowy wants to thank us for the help, and she invited us to visit her at her place at the North Pole. Layla wanted to know, what is the North Pole, Dada? So, Dada sat down on the couch and explained. The North Pole is a very special place on our Earth. Imagine that the Earth is a big sphere, like a ball. The North Pole is the top tip of that sphere. It is very cold and covered with ice and snow, and polar bears, Arctic foxes, and other animals that love the cold live there. At the North Pole, it is sometimes very dark and sometimes very light. In the winter, it is very cold and dark, and in the summer, it is very light, and the sun shines all day and all night. The North Pole is also very important because the ice there helps keep the Earth cool. Habi and Jut's eyes sparkled with excitement. A trip to the North Pole. That sounds great. Dada looked at Mom, nodded, and put his hand on Layla's shoulder. We thought it would be a great idea to accept this invitation. What do you guys think? Layla, Habi, and Jut nodded enthusiastically. They were all convinced that this was an adventure they shouldn't miss. So, with their hearts full of excitement and anticipation, the family began preparations for their trip to the North Pole. Will the family travel tomorrow, or are there other adventures awaiting? For now, sleep well and have sweet dreams, my little adventurer. Surprise party for Davi. It was a special day in the jungle as Davi, the adorable little elephant, celebrated her 4th birthday. Davi and her little sister Diddy were the proud daughters of Olivia, the queen of the jungle. The jungle was buzzing with excitement and joy, for everyone in the animal kingdom knew that today was a special day. Nico, the friendly panther with a passion for playing the piano, took the initiative to organize a big surprise birthday for Davi. He played happy tunes on his piano and invited everyone from the jungle to join the party. Nico's music filled the air, and it reached the ears of Layla and his loving parents, Dada and Mama. They were immediately excited and decided to join the party to surprise Davi. Besides Nico's amazing musical talent, they were all able to contribute something to the party. Mama started by baking delicious banana cakes, Davi's favorite treat. She decorated the cakes with colorful flowers and glittering stars, making them look extra festive. Dada and Layla took on the task of decorating the jungle. They gathered cheerful garlands and balloons in all the colors of the rainbow. Layla deftly climbed the trees to hang them while Dada carefully tied the last garland. Before long, the whole area looked festive, with balloons dangling from the branches and garlands dancing in the wind. Mom's delicious banana cakes stood invitingly ready on a decorated table. Davi knew nothing of the surprise party being prepared for her. She played innocently with her sister Didi, wondering what a special day this would be. The sun slowly began to set, and the jungle filled with the gentle sounds of Nico's music. As evening fell, Nico led Davi to the party location, where the jungle was full of friends. When Davi saw the colorful decorations, dancing balloons, and delicious cakes, her friends all shouted in unison, "Surprise!" She could not believe her eyes. She was beaming with joy and gratitude. Her little sister Didi ran up to her and greeted her with a big hug. Mama, Dada, and Layla laughed with happiness when they saw Davi's delight. The party erupted with music, dancing, and the sweet taste of banana cake. This was a birthday Davi would never forget. The love of her family and friends filled her heart, and the joy of the jungle around her made this day an unforgettable celebration of friendship and happiness. Together they shared laughing moments, played, and danced under the jungle's brilliant starry sky as Davi celebrated her 4th birthday with those she loved most. Learn how to count. One sunny morning when they went into the jungle, Dada said, "Layla, shall we count today? Let's see how many jungle friends we can find." Layla's eyes lit up with enthusiasm and he agreed, "That seems like a fun idea, Dada. I can't wait to start counting." They began their counting adventure with one, and not far from where they started, they saw a huge hippo resting on the riverbank. "Look, Layla," said Dada, "there's a big hippo enjoying the water." Layla counted 1 and stuck a finger in the air. "That's a hippo." As they continued into the jungle, they came across playful lion twins, Luna and Nalu. Luna and Nalu tumbled and jumped on each other. Dada pointed and said, "Well, Layla, we have 2 little lion cubs, Luna and Nalu, playing in the clearing." Layla counted happily on his fingers, 1, 2. That's 2 lion cubs. Their jungle adventure brought them to a swampy area where they saw 3 crocodile triplets standing on the bank. "Layla, look at those 3 crocodile triplets," Dada said. They were playing. Layla counted 1, 2, 3. That's 3 crocodiles, and now Layla had 3 fingers in the air. They continued exploring, and soon Layla spotted something high up in the trees. "Dada, look up there," exclaimed Layla. "I see a group of colorful parrots." Dada smiled and said, "You're right, Layla. There are 4 parrots in that group." Layla counted 1, 2, 3, 4. "So that's 4 parrots, for fingers, that's them almost fingers of this hand." As they traveled even deeper into the jungle, Layla and Dada came across even more of their animal friends. They found a family of 5 curious monkeys swinging on the vines and playing together. Layla counted cheerfully, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. "So that's 5 monkeys," Layla said, laughing. "Haha, that's from the song too, isn't it, Dada? 5 monkeys jumping on the bed." Dada laughed and said, "Yes, 5 little monkeys, just like our family." "There are 5 of us too," Layla said. Me, you, Mommy, Jut and Haby. Yes, said Dada, a handful. Shall we see if we can find any more? Further on, they came across a group of turtles resting in the sun. Dada pointed to the turtles and said, Layla, you see that, there are turtles there. Layla counted, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so that's 6 turtles, and now Layla had to add his second hand. Then they stumbled upon a group of playful and colorful butterflies. Layla watched them flutter around and then Dada said, Layla, there are 7 beautiful butterflies dancing in the sunlight. Layla counted, which was a little difficult because they were fluttering around so fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that's 7. Their adventure in the jungle led them. Layla, Dada said, count the wildebeest. Layla counted, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 8, wildebeest. They reached a sparkling riverbank. Layla saw a group of 9 fish swimming in the clear water. Look, Dada, Layla said, there are 9 fish swimming in the river. Dada nodded and said, you're absolutely right, Layla. Layla counted, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so that's 9. Finally, just before they went home, Layla saw a group of 10 fireflies illuminating the jungle with their magical glow. Dada said, Layla, there are 10 magical fireflies there, lighting our way home. Layla counted, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and beamed with pride. 10 fingers, that's 2 handfuls, Layla said as he clapped his hands together. Layla couldn't wait to share his findings with Mama, Jut, and Haby, and he was already looking forward to their next adventure. They had discovered so much during their counting adventure, and it had been an exciting and educational day in the jungle. Layla lost his cuddly toy, Monkey Monk. Layla had a special friend, a stuffed monkey named Monkey Monk. They did everything together, from games to fantastic adventures in the jungle. But one sunny morning, when the sun was shining over the treetops and the birds were singing their happy songs, a strange thing happened. Layla woke up and couldn't find Monkey anywhere. He looked under his cozy blanket, in his toy chest, and even in the branches of the treehouse, but Monkey was nowhere to be found. Layla felt a little worried and knew he had to ask for help. He hurried to go to his father and ask him if he could find Monkey Monk. Daddy, Daddy, exclaimed Layla, his eyes big with concern. I can't find Monkey anywhere. He's gone. Daddy, always ready to help his little one, gave him a hug and said, Don't worry, Layla. We'll find Monkey together. Let's retrace your steps and look at all the places you've been. Layla and Daddy began their search. They looked in the cozy treehouse, where they had last seen Monkey. They looked in the bedroom, the bathroom, the kitchen, and the living room. But inside, Monkey could not be found. They went outside, looked by the shimmering river where they always picnicked. There they came across Crocodile Chompy and asked, We are looking for my cuddly toy Monkey Monk. Have you maybe seen it? Asked Layla. No, said the crocodile. I haven't seen a cuddly toy, but I'd be happy to help you look for it. Dada, Layla, and Chompy walked on and looked around carefully. As they were searching, Lenny the meerkat appeared from behind a tree, and Layla, Dada, and Chompy explained their search. We are looking for my stuffed animal Monkey Monk. Have you maybe seen it? Asked Layla. No, said Lenny, I haven't seen your cuddly toy, but I would love to help you look for it. Lenny joined them and was eager to help find Monkey. Dada, Layla, Chompy, Lenny, and Dada walked on and looked around carefully. Together they searched high and low in the jungle, calling out Monkey Monkey's name. As they continued walking, they came across Addie the sloth bear. "We are looking for my teddy monkey monk. Have you maybe seen it?" asked Layla. "No," said Addie the friendly bear, "I haven't seen your cuddly toy, but I would be happy to help you look for it." Layla described Monkey Monk to Addie, who nodded and joined their search. With Addie joining them, the group continued their search. They checked the wise owl's large tree, explored hidden caves, and even looked up into the vines hanging from the trees. Layla was determined to find Monkey Monkey, his stuffed animal. At the soccer field, the friends, Journey the cheetah, came across. They asked if he had seen Layla's stuffed animal. "No," said Journey, "I haven't seen a cuddle, but I'd be happy to help you look for it." Journey, Addie, Lenny, Chompy, Layla, and Dada continued searching. After much searching and asking, they found themselves at a quiet pond where a gentle turtle, Jessie, was sunbathing. Layla saw the turtle and walked over to him. "Hello," Layla said, "have you seen my stuffed animal, Monkey Monk?" Jessie the turtle smiled and replied, "No, I haven't seen your Monkey Monk," said the turtle. "But I'd be happy to help you look." Jessie, Journey, Addie, Lenny, Chompy, Layla, and Dada continued their search. They had not yet been to one place. The big rock. Layla ran to the rock, but Monkey Monk was not on the rock. Layla was really sad now. He didn't know where to look anymore. Journey walked around the rock and he found Monkey Monk. He was lying in the grass and had slipped off the rock. Layla clapped his hands and gave Journey and Monkey Monk a big hug. Layla and Dada thanked all the friends who had helped look for him. "Thank you all," Layla said, his eyes shining. The friends said no problem and you're welcome. They said goodbye to each other. Dada and Layla sat on their rock for a while longer and discussed the day together. As the sun began to set and the jungle filled with the soft sounds of night, Layla, Monkey Monk, and Dada went back to their cozy treehouse. Layla cuddled with Monkey Monk, and Dada said, "Even though we sometimes get separated, we always find our way back to each other." With a smile on his face and Monkey Monk firmly in his arms, Layla fell asleep happily that night, ready for more adventures and new... What sound are you hearing now? He is going to guess sounds with his Dada. Today, Layla had a special challenge, guessing the animal sounds he was going to look for with his Dada. They went to the big waterhole first. There, they heard a low, rumbling trumpet echoing through the air. Dada asked, "What sound are you hearing now?" Layla's eyes lit up, and he said, "I know that sound, Dada. It's an elephant, isn't it?" "Yes, it's the trumpeting of elephants," Dada said. Just as Layla had guessed, a beautiful Oliva came with her daughters Davi and Didi at the big waterhole. She was a gentle giant, with her long trunk, very big ears, and friendly eyes. Layla waved to the elephants. And Davi asked, "Are you coming in the shower today, Layla?" "Not today," said Layla, "we are looking for sounds," and Layla and Dada walked on again. Their adventure continued to the large clearing in Junjel, and suddenly they heard a mighty roar that sent shivers down Layla's spine. Dada asked, "What sound are you hearing now?" With a grin, Layla exclaimed, "I hear the twins, Nalu and Luna." "Yes, it's the sound of roaring lions," Dada said. And indeed, a pair of lion cubs, Nalu and Luna, tumbled and played in a clearing. Layla watched them and waved. "Bye Layla," said Nalu and Luna, "are you playing tag with us?" "No, not today," said Layla, "we are looking for sounds." They walked on and came to a place with bushes all around. Dada asked, "What sound are you hearing now?" Layla thought it was a bit of an exciting sound and didn't really know. Then he saw two golden yellow snakes. "Oh, that's the sound of hissing and rattling snakes," Dada said. Layla waved at the snakes and they quickly walked on. A new sound filled the jungle, one that was musical and graceful, like a chorus of angels. Dada asked, "What sound are you hearing now?" Layla said, "Dada, that's the sound of flamingos, isn't it? They are so elegant." "Yes, that is the sound of hooting flamingos," Dada said. A group of elegant flamingos stood in a nearby pond. Their pink feathers glistened in the water. Layla spotted Vivian and waved to her. "Are you coming to the playground with me, Layla?" asked Vivian. "Today I can't," said Layla. "We are looking for sounds," and they walked on again. As their adventure continued, they came across a challenging sound, a low croaking. Dada asked, "What sound are you hearing now?" Layla said, "Dada, I think I know this one. They are frogs." All around them, frogs were jumping around. "Yes, those are croaking frogs," Dada said. As the day drew to a close, Layla and Dada found a quiet spot by the riverbank. Layla said, "We hear this sound every night, Dada." Dada asked, "What sound are you hearing now?" Layla said, "Dada, I don't know what these animals are called. I have never seen them properly." "They are chirping crickets," Dada said. Crickets make sounds by quickly rubbing their wings together. They use the sounds to tell other crickets who they are. That's how they talk to each other. The wings are built to work as musical instruments. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Layla and Dada enjoyed the sounds of the jungle, where each animal played its unique part in nature's orchestra. Layla closed his eyes to listen even better to the rustling of leaves, the lapping sound of water in the river and the gentle rustling of the wind. When Layla went to bed after his evening ritual, he fell asleep surrounded by the beautiful sounds of the jungle. Sleep well, little adventurers. Until tomorrow, dream sweet dreams. One sunny day in the kitchen, Mama had a big, happy smile. She said to Layla, "Hey Bee and Jut, we are going to do something fun today." Pumpkin faces. "We are going to visit Abuelo and Abuela," said Mammy. "We're going to their garden to pick beautiful, big pumpkins. These pumpkins will be our new lanterns for the front door. We'll take out the flesh inside and use it to make delicious food." Dada was also excited and said, "I'm going to use the pumpkin flesh to make my famous risotto, and Abuela will make her delicious pumpkin soup." The tummies of Layla, Habi, and Jip made hungry noises because they knew the food would be so delicious. Mama explained, "After we empty the pumpkins, we make faces in them. Then we will put lights in them. When they are done, we will put the pumpkins by the front door. The lights in the pumpkins will then shine by the front door so that it looks like a magical, happy place." Layla, Jut, and Habi were so happy. They loved being with Abuelo and Abuela, and this pumpkin adventure sounded super fun. When they arrived at Abuelo and Abuela's house, the air smelled like delicious flowers and fresh pumpkins. The children couldn't hide their excitement. When they arrived at Abuelo and Abuela's house, they were greeted with big hugs and smiles. Then they all went outside to the beautiful garden. The garden was full of colorful flowers and all kinds of vegetables. But today it was all about the pumpkins. The pumpkins were big, round, and glowing in the warm sun. Layla, Habi, and Jut all got to pick a pumpkin. Layla looked carefully at the different pumpkins. They were all beautiful, but some were very big, and some were smaller. When Layla found his pumpkin, he pointed it out to Abuelo. "Abuelo, I would like that one," said Layla. "That's good, my dear boy," said Abuelo. Abuelo grabbed his big knife from the table, cut the pumpkin loose, and gave it to Layla. Layla could only just carry the pumpkin because it was very heavy and big. Carefully, he walked to the table where Dada was already waiting. Abuela called the children to the kitchen so they could wash their hands first. When they returned to the garden, Dada was waiting. Dada carefully cut off the tops of the pumpkins. They were like little hats. Layla watched with big, wide-eyed eyes. Dada showed the seeds and the soft, orange stuff inside. Abuela said, "We are going to use everything and not waste anything." She gave Layla, Habi, and Jud a big spoon, and together they scooped out all the seeds. Abuela planned to dry the seeds, some for the birds, and the rest to put in Abuela's yummy bread. Then they pulled out the soft, bright orange pumpkin flesh. Dada cut it into small pieces and got ready to bake it in the oven. Meanwhile, he had also set up rice with tasty broth for his famous risotto. Abuela got the other part of the flesh and started making the most delicious pumpkin soup with her soft hands. She added herbs and spices and turned the pumpkin into a warm, delicious soup that made everyone happy. When they finished emptying the pumpkins, it was time for the most exciting part. Mama gave Layla, Jut, and Habi markers, and they drew crazy faces on the pumpkins. Dada gave Jut and Habi a big sharp knife to carve out the faces. Layla was too small to use a big knife, so Abuelo helped him make a friendly pumpkin face. When the faces were ready, Mama picked up the candles and carefully lit them. The lights in each pumpkin gave off a flickering light, making the carved faces even more beautiful. They put the pumpkin hats back on. The monkey family stepped back and looked proudly at their creations. The pumpkins had their own personalities, each with a different expression. After the delicious food of the pumpkin soup with bread and the well-filled risotto, they thanked Abuelo and Abuela for the nice day and the lovely food. Dada, Mama, Layla, Jut, and Habi went home again. It was already dusk. Layla, Habi, and Jut were allowed to take home their pumpkins with the lights in them. They walked happily with their pumpkin lanterns to the tree house. Arriving at the tree house, they put the lanterns by the front door. It looked cozy. Layla said, "Sleep well to the pumpkins," and they went inside. That night, Layla dreamed about pumpkins and smiles. Good night, little ones.